Yo, what's going on, YouTube fam? Sean Michael Robinson touching in, checking in with everybody. Today, we want to talk about job security in this time of upheaval and of AI. And what you think? Do you think that there's a such thing as job security nowadays? Or is it just like a free-for-all? And if that is the case, what do you do to make sure that you are one of the ones that, I guess, survive the great job elimination, right? We're talking about AI again. You know, had a great kind of mastermind with some of my peoples. We're talking about AI and the different ways to use certain AI tools, and what I took away from that was a lot of, as I kind of stated before, how many people know about ways to utilize AI for their business, how to utilize AI to stay, whether it be, I guess, relevant, to be more productive, to be able to get that extra edge, or at least be able to sustain your career in this corporate world. So I want y'all, if you can let me know, what are the top tools that you use in your professional life? I know we know ChatGPT. Has anybody tried DeepSeek as yet? Have you guys heard about that? Have you guys heard of Notebook LM? Have you guys heard about Suno? Have you guys heard about Gemini? And which ones do you use the most? Which tools do you feel benefit you the most? And which ones do you find maybe just trash, like they're just not of any use case scenario for you, right? Now, even I think I know a significant amount, but during the mastermind session I had with some of my peoples, give a shout out to Kazi, give a shout out to Jamal. Now, I learned a few things even in the mastermind, which is obviously the point. No one can really know everything, and if you think you do, you probably know less than you think you do. So one of the key things is, I was looking at Notebook LM and just seeing how you could utilize something like that in order to really create a specific project to your use case scenario, right? Meaning that you could utilize it by putting in specific, say, PDFs, specific articles, specific websites that are more specific to your use case and might do just a better job in that for a particular excuse me, for a particular use case versus something that's just more general, all right? That everybody can use for general reasoning. A large language model just built for kind of everything versus getting something that's more specific to what your needs would be, especially if you're talking about moving around in the corporate world. So what I've realized is that because there's so many new things coming out, so much noise, it's kind of hard to, understand which systems or which platforms help you out the most. And I think one of the only ways to do that, one of the key things I learned, is to mess around with them all, kind of test them all, and see what gives you the best result. Another thing is looking at your systems. What are the systems that you have already, or your corporate systems, and how those systems can be put into a format that the AI can basically follow and save you from having to do a certain amount of work that may be repetitive, a certain amount of, or even if it's a situation where it allows you to kind of brainstorm more efficiently what's going on with what you need to do, kind of get off the, say, blank page when you're doing a report, or when you're trying to maybe assess a situation or even produce materials for a client. One other platform that I knew about, but I really didn't get an opportunity to really play with and understand, that they put me onto, was a platform called Gamma, which helps, or actually produces, a total slide deck, PowerPoint deck, whatever you want to call it. So with just a few simple prompts, create images within that deck, create text within that deck for your specific use case, which is obviously highly useful in a case where you're going to be doing some kind of presentation, whether you're going to be doing some reporting. Saves you a lot of time and energy, and you're able to also just tweak it to where you really want it to be, or what you want it to look like. So for instance, you get a general idea, put in basically what you're looking for, for that presentation, to talk about, to what the visuals are, and then once it generates something, you're able then to tweak that stuff, change the pictures, and how certain also image generators can help you like tailor the images more to what you're looking for. All right, so that's what we went over to a pretty great detail in that mastermind. So some of the image generators that I've used consistently, know pretty well. One would be Dolly, which is incorporated into ChatGPT. The other would be Midjourney, which I've used extensively to create different kind of videos, images first of all. I've taken those images and created videos out of those images by using platforms like 11 Labs, as well as Runway, to animate and add voiceover to the images and make them actually animate them, so that they can tell a story, which is incredibly helpful. Let's say you want to create a video for some of your products, your service, or what have you, or even for a presentation. So you can utilize like on 11 Labs to create a voice presentation. So you can put in text and choose a voice style, and it will then create a soundtrack or MP3 with that voice, with the information you put in converted to a voice track. So you have somebody talking for you. So say you have some issues presenting or speaking, or you want to kind of incorporate that so you can maybe cut down on how much you have to speak, or it could be automated to where it's something that could be used over and over again. But also you can then take an image that you created and animate that image in a platform like Runway, so that the image is speaking the words that were created through 11 Labs, that kind of basically created a voice soundtrack, and put those together, and then you have a video saying basically whatever you want. You have a picture of a frog, animate the frog, and he could be talking about whatever. Maybe a use case would be on a website, if it's a pest control company, and maybe you have a cricket instead of the Geico gecko, you have like a cricket for that particular pest control business that is animated and basically put a spiel in the cricket's mouth that it's gonna say, right? Which is pretty amazing. It's one thing I'm talking about it. It's a lot better to see it in action, because it's really pretty crazy, right? It's something that would have taken a lot of animation. You would have to pay a lot of money to do something like that, to have them try to animate something like that in the past. And now you have the ability to do something like that to pretty much make a commercial, right? Think of Geico, the Geico commercials with the gecko. Imagine you can do something like that for for almost no money, right? Within not days or even weeks as it probably used to take, but within, say, seconds, minutes. I mean, to put it all together may take an hour or what have you, depending on how, if you know what you're doing. But you could get it done. First and foremost, you could get something like that done without having to outsource it to a kind of a video or animation company. And then the cost is phenomenally less. So these are opportunities. I really want to know, is anybody kind of utilizing any of these tools that I mentioned in that way? And if you have, what kind of success have you found with it? Do you find people kind of like what they're seeing? Do you feel like it's not standing up to the hype? I want to know, like, let me know in your comments. And if you could kind of put any links to any of the things you guys have done, that would be excellent too. I'd love to check it out. Love to see what you guys have done. Because it's just like the opportunities are kind of limitless to a certain degree. There's always some kind of limitation, but based on what the limitations used to be, I can't say it's a significant limitation at this day and time, right? So these are some really interesting things. So one is, the question is, how many people do you think really know about these things to be able to utilize them? How many platforms do you currently utilize? And some of them overlap a bit. So some platforms kind of do a similar thing, like a DeepSeek versus a ChatGPT or even a Gemini. They're kind of doing a similar thing, but maybe a little differently, or maybe they have a couple options that's just better for you. Also, you have a ChatGPT which has incorporated DALL-E, so image generation, as well as creating documents, as well as you can speak to it and kind of just say what you want to get. So you could kind of use ChatGPT as an all-in-one, right? Come up with the insights or the ideas, kind of polish those up, and then also start to create the images. Also, they have Sora that's within that as well. So that's video generation, and then start to create even videos from that. So do you guys use maybe a ChatGPT, make it all-in-one? Do you feel that satisfies all the needs you have, or do you find that you need certain tools or more tools than just, say, a ChatGPT in order to get what you need to get done? I've found that I like how I like DALL-E's images, but I've used Leonardo and I've used Midjourney a lot more, and I've found that they have a lot better ability to create realistic images, which is a big thing that I appreciate, that I like. So that's one thing. Let me know what you guys feel about that, how you guys feel about that, and if that makes, if you're willing to pay that extra money to make sure that you can have a better image generation, or more realistic maybe image generation, and if that really makes any difference for creating what you need to create, whether it be a presentation, whether it be copy for a website, whether it be, you know, whatever you guys are choosing to generate. So those are some of the things, some of the questions I have for you guys. Personally, I do use say ChatGPT or Gemini more for maybe a brainstorm session, maybe to kind of get my ideas in track, to on you know, generate the ideas, help to generate the ideas, I should say, or kind of polish the ideas, I should say, more. And then I usually would use Leonardo, which is the image generation platform, to create certain imagery. And then, like I said, if I wanted to animate it, there are several other platforms. One, I've used Runway a lot. I've also used I forgot the name of a couple other ones, but I will see what I can do as far as when I remember, kind of putting those in the links, or what I can do, or maybe it'd be on the next video, or maybe let me know if you guys maybe want me to do some kind of go a little more in depth, kind of like a tutorial, and kind of show some of the things that I've done, to give you an idea of what, you know, what I've done. And if you haven't really used them as much, maybe you can kind of see what's possible if you're really new to the game. So let me know. That's pretty much what we're talking about today. What platforms do you use for like presentations? What platforms do you use for image generation, and how are you guys kind of putting them together and utilizing all of these different tools to create what you need for your jobs, for your career, for your corporate gig? You know, what makes the most sense for that kind of situation when you're in corporate America? And do you find that are your employers encouraging you to use these things? Do you find that you feel like you're cheating maybe by using them? Is it discouraged? Those are some things I wanted to discuss. So drop them down in the comments, your insights and the platforms you guys are using, and let's have a discussion about it. All right, Sean Michael Robinson out. Look forward to hearing what you guys got to say. Have a good day.